Hello, my name is Jerry Wesley. I'm going to speak to you today about how your stewardship impacts the operations of UPC. The operations is overseen by what's called an operations commission, which is responsible for the physical aspects of the church and parsonage, and it provides guidance and direction for its respective committees, which are four: building and grounds, finance, technology, and memorials. In fact, the bylaws of UPC specifically state that it shall establish and implement programs to identify operation and physical plant needs of and opportunities for the church. Currently, its members consist of Rick Berg, who is chairperson, myself as vice chair, Pastor Ryan, and the chairpersons of each of the four committees, who currently are Steve Howard, Jackie Ianson, our custodian, and Cynthia Lee. Specific areas of responsibility of the commission include contracts for utilities such as electric, gas, water and sewage, heating and cooling equipment maintenance, and elevator maintenance, insurance, communications, computers and internet access, snow removal, and these are just a few of several. This morning, however, I'm going to focus on the buildings and grounds needs and activities. First, there is definitely need for your continued support. First of all, to be frank, the church building is aging. The sanctuary opened in 1954. The education wing opened in 1958. However, despite its age, due to the ongoing care and maintenance provided by previous generations and congregations, the church structure and appearance are generally in good condition. It is my belief that it is incumbent on us to continue this effort and tradition. Your continued support in terms of funding and the tremendous help from volunteers will allow the church to, one, make capital improvements, and two, to address the always present and unexpected equipment failures and the needs for replacement. Recently, we have discovered that the 20-year-old education wing roof is in need of replacement. It costs $54,000 to replace it in 2000, and today's cost is estimated to be about $120,000. We pray fully that you consider giving funds towards its replacement. There is a line in the Pledge Committee commitment card you'll see entitled Capital Improvement Fund that can be used to demonstrate your commitment to this project. It is important to note that the church grounds and buildings serve not just our congregation, but the community as well. For example, the church serves as a meeting place or physical location for the Boy Scouts, Alcoholics Anonymous for both men and ladies, Al-Anon, and the Park District Preschool Program. And last but not least, certainly, is the fact that UPC has hosted a PADS Lake County shelter since the fall of 1991, and that represents 29 years where UPC has served actually as a site. Unfortunately, for the last 2 years, the program has been greatly limited in its scope because of COVID, and we are currently not hosting providing homeless shelter right now. Lastly, UPC was considered as a site for a scaled-down version of the AARP tax aid program. However, due to the limited site availabilities during the shutdown experienced earlier this year, for example, the program decided that they weren't able to handle only but a few sites. So that development never came about. Just to give you an example of how your support has been used in 2021, I'd like to list a few of the projects that were undertaken. First of all, there were upgrades to our computers and IT to enable live streaming of Sunday service via YouTube. So that's a very important new development. Major repairs were done on the parsonage deck, such as washing, staining, and replacing major parts of the deck, and also the fencing around the south playground was washed and stained by volunteers. Additional fire extinguishers were installed. Numerous repairs are made to the outside doors of the education wing. A new safe was purchased and installed. Replacing lights on the outdoor sign with LEDs was another project undertaken. A couple unplanned expenses occurred, such as failure of a lift station pump, and there was wind damage to the trees and the building this summer. Lastly, there was installation of a gaga pit on the south end of the front lawn just last week. Addressing the challenging issues that the COVID-19 pandemic presented in regard to in-person meetings, events, and Sunday services was another major issue that had to be addressed by the operations committees throughout the year. In particular, Jackie Eason, our custodian, has been instrumental in ensuring the safety of people in the building, and she's been responsible for sanitizing procedures, signage, etc. In closing, I hope I have made a compelling case for why your continued stewardship is so important to the ongoing ministries of UPC. This includes both monetary support and volunteering. Lastly, I want to take this opportunity to thank the many volunteers, too numerous to name, who have contributed their time and expertise to this upkeep of our building and grounds during this very challenging year. Thank you for your attention.